So you've got electric cars, you've got social media, you've got rockets heading to Mars. What in the world do those things have in common? Well, today we're going to piece together Elon Musk's grand vision. It's this incredible roadmap that connects all of his biggest ventures, not just to each other, but to the future of work and maybe even the nature of reality itself. Okay, so everything Musk does, it really starts with this one core idea. It's not about profit, it's about purpose. His advice is actually pretty straightforward. Stop chasing the money. Instead, he says, focus on creating something that's genuinely useful. His whole belief is that if you can provide important goods and services to people, the money, well, it'll just come on its own. And that, right there, is the frame for every single thing he built. So how does he put that philosophy into practice? Simple. He builds tools. You know, we look at his empire and we see all these separate companies, right? But that's not how he sees it. For him, it's a collection of instruments, and each one is designed to tackle a huge, specific problem that humanity is facing right now.
All right, first up, X. And you gotta forget thinking of it as just another social media app. For Musk, the mission is way, way grander. He wants to build a global public square. This isn't about getting posts and likes. No, it's a tool for humanity's collective consciousness, a place where we can all connect, debate, and share ideas. He's even trying to break down language barriers with real-time translation to make it happen.
Then you've got Tesla. And let's be clear, he doesn't see it as a car company. Not at all. He actually defines it as the world's leading, get this, real-world AI company. See the cars? They're just mobile sensors driving around, collecting massive amounts of data. The real product is an AI that can navigate the complete chaos of our physical world. And that's an absolutely critical first step before you can even think about building robots that can do the same thing. And of course, there's SpaceX. This is the biggest tool of them all. I mean, Starlink is already connecting the entire globe, which is amazing. But the true goal, it's about ensuring the long-term survival of consciousness itself. Think about that. By making humanity a multiplanetary species, what he's really doing is creating the ultimate backup plan for, well, for everything we are and everything we know. So, let's recap. We've got a global consciousness network, a real-world AI, and an escape route to the stars. I mean, on the surface, they seem totally separate, right? Like they have nothing to do with each other. But there is a single, really powerful idea that ties them all together. So, what is it? Well, the answer lies in what's coming next. It's what Musk sees as the single biggest transformation in all of human history, the AI revolution. And okay, this is where the timeline he lays out gets kind of shocking. He's predicting that within just 10 to 20 years, so really not that far away, AI and robotics will be so advanced that work won't be a necessity anymore. Just let that sink in for a second. Your job, it becomes completely optional, something you do for fun like a hobby, but not something you need to do to survive. This whole idea leads to a pretty radical new concept he calls universal high income. And no, that's not the same as universal basic income, which is more of a safety net. This is something else entirely. We're talking about a future where AI and robotics can produce literally any good or service you could possibly want, on demand. Scarcity just becomes a thing of the past. It's a world of genuine abundance. Now, the really crucial point here is that this isn't just about making our lives more convenient. This is a fundamental restructuring of society as we know it. It's about freeing all of humanity from the biological need to work just to survive. And when you have a shift that massive, well, it raises an even bigger question. And that brings us to the ultimate goal, the big philosophical why that connects every single one of these insane, world-changing projects. It really all comes back to a question that Musk says he's been asking himself since he was just a teenager. What's the point of it all? I mean, seriously, in a world where AI provides for your every need and your job is totally optional, what do we do? What's our purpose then? His answer is pretty profound. He believes humanity's purpose is to expand the scope and scale of consciousness. So the ultimate goal isn't just to survive or to exist, it's to understand, to build a collective intelligence so massive that we can finally start to get a grip on the nature of the universe, and maybe even figure out what questions we're supposed to be asking in the first place. And just like that, suddenly it all clicks. See? X is the tool to network our current consciousness. Tesla's AI is the tool that's going to free that consciousness from physical labor. And SpaceX, that's the tool to preserve and expand that consciousness beyond just one planet. They are all instruments for this one singular, absolutely incredible mission. But hold on, because his thinking doesn't stop there, not by a long shot. If the ultimate goal is to understand the universe, well, that leads to an even more mind-bending question about the nature of our reality itself. So Musk lays out this logical argument that we are in all likelihood living in a simulation. Just think about it. He points out that in only 50 years, video games went from Pong, two little rectangles and a dot, to these insane photorealistic worlds. Now just extrapolate that trend out. Sooner or later, games are going to be completely indistinguishable from reality. And if there are potentially billions of these simulated realities running, what are the odds that you and I just happen to be in the one original base reality? The probability is tiny. And here's the twist. He argues that being in a simulation might not even be a bad thing. I mean, think about it. When we run simulations, what do? We focus on the interesting parts, right? Base reality could be infinitely huge and, let's be honest, probably pretty boring most of the time. A simulation, though, that's probably like a curated highlight reel. It's reality, just with all the boring bits edited out. This all leads him to this really fascinating conclusion. He says, my theory is that the most interesting outcome is the most probable outcome. Why? Because if you imagine a multiverse of simulations, the ones that are boring, they probably just get shut down. But the ones that survive, the ones that the creators let keep running, those are the interesting ones. And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? If Musk is right, if the universe itself actually favors interesting outcomes, and if we are, in a sense, the authors of our own story, then all of his work, building all these incredible tools, it really just boils down to one simple choice for us. What interesting future are we going to decide to create?